Hey everyone, it's Jennifer Roberts here, and I am the Podqueen. So today, I want to talk about Proverbs 23, verse 7. And the reason I want to talk about that is because it's such a practical verse. It says that, so a man thinks, therefore he is. Simple words, right? Very simple words. But when you stop and think about it, you ponder it, you go, wow, that's intense. You mean the way that I think, therefore I act out the way that I think? So it says everything about the fact that we need to be clear in our thoughts. We need to meditate on truth in our mind. I want to know what I'm thinking about so I don't just become something I don't value. And so I want to invite you, consider the things that you're thinking about. What are you pondering in your mind? What are you becoming? So this is good news and bad news. The good news is when we think truthful thoughts, we begin to live like women of truth. But when we're meditating or we're bombarded or assaulted by lies against God and His nature, lies against us and how God feels about us, then we become people who walk out values that we don't even believe in, but they're so subconscious, they're in our mind. So I want to challenge you today, what's in your mind? What are you thinking about? What are you becoming? What are those thoughts leading to? And so in Romans 12 verse 2, it says, be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So sometimes we need to stop and go, okay, what am I thinking about? What are my actions expressing? And as women, we have a lot of words, right? I have a lot of words, girls. I use them all day long. Sometimes my husband gets bored. Sometimes he rolls his eyes. Sometimes he wished I'd stop using my words. But I have a lot of words in my head. A lot of words come out of my mouth. So I want to make sure the words that are in my head, which I'm going to call thoughts, that they're actually reflecting who God is. They're reflecting how God sees me, and they're reflecting what I think and feel about God. Does that make sense? And so in order to renew your mind, you need to take stock of what's in your mind. You need to stop and slow down and decide, wait a sec, am I going to renew this subscription or am I going to change it for another one? So this is a time to reflect. This is a time to think. This is a time to say, what am I thinking about? What is my thought life like? What am I consumed with? And the other reason this becomes practical is because the Bible says, you shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, and all your strength. If my mind is cluttered with lies I believe about myself, cluttered with lies I believe about God, then I've got no space left. Then I can't love Him with all of my mind. It's like a mess in there. I got to get some organization. I need to bring order to my mind. I need to make my thoughts believe truth. I want to love God with all my mind. And it's the place to love God that no one sees. No one knows what I'm thinking. No one is reading my mind. And I want to be truthful. I want to have integrity in my mind about myself and in my mind about God. And so I want to encourage you as women, find out, take stock of your thoughts. Realize when you're thinking wrong thoughts. Realize when you're thinking good thoughts. Because what you think, you become. You act those things out. What I'm thinking about in my mind about myself begins to be reflected in the way that I live. What I think about God becomes reflected in the way that I approach Him. Make sure that you're thinking truthful things. We need to take thoughts captive. We need to not let them run loose in our mind. When they start to go a little crazy, grab that lasso, rope it in, and reel it in. And you be in charge of your thoughts. You be in charge of your mind. Because I want to become great in God. I want to be a godly woman. I want to love God with all of my heart, all of my mind, all of my soul, all of my strength. And so I want to start with my mind. I want to take over my mind. I want to win the battle in my mind. And I invite you to do the same thing. That's what the Podqueen thinks.